I don't get what's going on. It's like a whole bunch of stuff is hitting you at one time. A lot of things you can't explain. It's like a season of uncomfortableness, like different things that's happening in your life you can't explain. You're not understanding why am I going through these things. And it seemed like things are just happening back to back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah, and I would say like this year has been like a challenging year altogether. But really, if somebody's facing something now, all of these challenges back to back to back again, in the midst of this, I think it's just a continuance of an attack.
What's going on, everybody? This is Theodore Campbell again.
And I'm Bianca. Welcome back to Unadulterated You. And we're just happy that you guys are tuning in again. And thank you so much for all your support. We're going to be talking about, what's the topic tonight, Teddy?
Well, I just wanted to talk about, because I had a few conversations with a couple of my friends, a few associates, and the one thing that I saw that was in common for everybody that I spoke to, it seemed like everybody is going through this season where it's like, you're like, I don't get what's going on. It's like a whole bunch of stuff is hitting you at one time. A lot of things you can't explain. It's like a season of uncomfortableness, like different things that's happening in your life you can't explain. You're not understanding why am I going through these things. And it seemed like things are just happening back to back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah, and I would say like this year has been like a challenging year altogether. But really, if somebody's facing something now, all of these challenges back to back to back again, in the midst of this, I think it's just a continuance of an attack, from the enemy, trying to discourage you or trying to, he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That's what the enemy's job is. And so, if he can weed us out one by one, by all means, that's what he's trying to do. And so that's why it's important to keep our faith and keep our eyes trained on God, honestly, and to be grounded in him, to have him as our foundation, just to be honest, because, just to be real,
mm-hmm.
Without him, how are you getting through?
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Like the last couple of days, and this is not just me speaking, but the people that I'm cool with, that's Christians, and even people that's not Christians, it's like, we pretty much just been going with the motions, mm-hmm. which is not necessarily a good thing, but it's like you get hit with these different situations back to back, and it's like you kind of don't even understand where it's coming from.
Well, again, it's the enemy that's attacking you. But if you look at it from the other side of things, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to get closer to God. It's an opportunity for God to show true in your life. It's an opportunity for you to reach him and, your prayers to be answered on behalf of those situations, just to be honest. So don't look at it, even though it is a negative coming towards you, God works all things together for the good of those that love him. So if we take that thing, turn it around, trust God to work it out, even seek him to do so, then by all means, it will work together for our good, and we don't have to worry. We don't have to be anxious about anything. We don't have mm-hmm. to do that, because that's what God has told us. And even if you look back, he's brought you through other situations. He's taken you through, and you came out, and everything's fine, right? So just not to lose hope or lose faith. Use it to increase your faith. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. And definitely, like, again, it is funny how all our videos tie together. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about renewing your, the power of the mind, mm-hmm. and renewing your mind. So what has been helping me through this season, even though I admit I'm still frustrated, I still don't get it, but the stuff that I've learned as far as like watching different people with wisdom and different scriptures and different I would say sermons and stuff like that, they give me encouragement because it teaches me that it's like I'm gonna use my favorite preacher, Bianca. You know who my guy is,
Ron.
Ron Carpenter. So he did a I would say a series on doors, and he was explaining how like when you go through certain things, like pretty much situations is what you call it to be. If you think a problem is a problem and you call it a problem, that's what it is. But if you call a problem an opportunity, then that's what it is.
Yeah. And if nothing else, I would say, if it's not even for a gain, earthly gain, if nothing else, just to increase your faith in Him. Use those things to increase your faith. Listen, he already told us He's gonna bring us through, and he has an expectant end for us. And just to know that He knew what we would go through before it even happened to us is reassuring. You know what I'm saying? So use that or remember that, because there's nothing that can happen without God allowing it. Number one.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, also, I remember, this is what I remember when I'm praying for something, is how the word says that when you pray, believe you've already received it before you pray. So definitely have faith enough and believe that God is going to deliver and show up on your behalf. And He wouldn't, put more on you than you can bear. I know it may be trying times. I know it may feel like, oh, I can't take this. It's a lot of pressure. What they say, if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. Stay in there. Keep working. I remember listening to my pastor preach the other day about how you have to go through in order to get through. You can't just stop here and think that you're going to come out on the other side in a better place. Keep pushing through and, with the most strength that you have, but even in your weakness, that's when He's made most strong. So trust in Him to do it for you.
Absolutely. And one thing I do like what Ron Carpenter said, he said, and again, this is his words, it's not really biblical, but he gets a lot of his analogies from the Bible. He was saying that problems are nothing but door indicators. So if a problem comes up in your life, it's just indicating that a new door or a new situation is about to open in your life.
Or even blessings could be coming behind that. Of course, why wouldn't the enemy want to discourage you right before God is going to bless you? Why wouldn't he want to trick you out of receiving that blessing or claiming it or believing that it's already yours? Why wouldn't he do that? Because
exactly.
He knows.
That's his job.
He knows God. He knows what He's capable of. So of course He's gonna try to trick us and make us feel like, oh, there's no hope. He's gonna make us feel like it ain't no hope, so that we won't receive all the blessings that God has given us. An abundant God, a God of overflow. Like, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. And that's what Jesus said. And He said, if it were not so, I would have told you. So it ain't no way that right now, this is my decision. I hope you guys say the same thing, that there's no way that I'm going to let the enemy stop me from receiving all that God has for me. I want nothing that the world has to give, but everything that God has for me, that's what I want, and that's what I'm taking on. And so that's what's pushing me forward, okay?
Exactly. And I'm definitely appreciative of the people that I have in my life, like family. I have a lot of spiritual people in my family that give me encouragement. And like, I know my mom, she told me that pretty much when the devil attacked you, that's kind of like a moment where you can kind of be, I'm trying to use the word like I forgot what she said, but kind of like you should be kind of honored because he's not going to attack nobody that's not worth it. Like he's not going to attack nobody who is not a threat to his kingdom. So the fact that he's attacking you means that you're a threat to his kingdom, or that you're doing something right in your life that's a threat to what he's trying to do. So those are things that I can think about in my mind during those seasons where I feel like all this stuff is coming against me, and it makes sense when you really think about it.
Yeah, to take it as a compliment, because
Yeah,
I always hear like on a lower level, like that's not necessary. Well, it could be spiritual. If you don't have no haters, you ain't doing something right. So, okay,
yeah,
cool. Well, I must be doing something right, because just think about it. When you were out doing everything that, or when maybe you were in a place doing some things that were destructive to you, the enemy didn't have to approach you. But as soon as you try to get yourself together, even if it's on a regular level of trying to take care of your family, trying to earn an honest living, trying to stay on the straight and narrow, I'm not going to get in trouble anymore. The enemy tries to attack you with so many things, or present you with so many options that allow that you, or open the door to something that would be harmful, something that will put you in a bad situation. But it seems so tempting, you know.
yeah.
But you have to just keep your focus. Keep your focus, because I'm pretty sure no, it's not easy being a parent. It's not easy being a wife or a husband, or taking care of your family. These things are challenging and it's hard. It's not easy being responsible and paying for bills all the time. No, it's none of that's easy. But if you lean on him and cast all your cares on him, he will make the allowance for it to be done, and he'll keep you in peace about it. You don't have to worry about all these things that are coming at you. Just lay it on him and trust him to handle it for you.
Absolutely. Hey, and trust me, I'm not no prophet or nothing like that. But with what's going on with this COVID-19 and all this stuff that we're going through right now, I'm a firm believer, and I believe it in my heart, that like there's better days ahead of us. And these things that we're going through is just a sign of that what we're about to go through it, we're about to come to better. But the devil don't attack things that's not worth it, or who that's not to be a threat to his kingdom.
Mm-hmm. And
So
I'm so sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I will say that I'm not a prophet either, but I know that God has showed me that He is. This is somewhat of a period of training, really and honestly. Um, this is some time or space where we can become better equipped. And He's really shown me that He will equip you where it's needed. Where you don't know where you're gonna get whatever you need, He will supply that for you. Just trusting Him to do it. That's what I have to keep stressing, because if you don't believe Him, faith is what pleases Him. Just try your best to trust Him to do it. He's gonna equip us with what we need to get through this training period, and to use those things on the battlefield, so to speak.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all people remember back in the day, but there used to be a show where the name of the show was Growing Pains.
Mm.
Well, I think like pretty much the world is going through growing pains right now. It's like we about to enter a new season where we about to go and see different things that we never experienced before. But we got to go through them growing pains first before we can get to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
Even in our personal life, that's why we feel what we feeling right now. Like I'll be the first one to admit, like I would say in the last month or two, I've been the most frustrated that I've ever been in my life.
Right?
But But my faith tells me that what I'm going through is for a reason. There's something on the other side of this.
Mm-hmm. And it is.
And that's that growing pains.
Mm-hmm. And
It might be a next level.
yeah, you're gonna get some wisdom. You're gonna gain wisdom from that, and again, that same equipment. I want to say that if He's equipping you with skills to handle certain situations right here in this time, you're gonna have to use those things in times to come. Like you don't, somebody doesn't give you a sword or shield or a gun or something, and the enemy comes and you don't use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have the equipment. Take up the arms. You don't leave it. Just
Yeah.
what is the point in having it and not using it? This is where you have a decision to make. This is where you have a choice. Am I going to use what he's given me to get through this, or am I going to just allow that to lay on the table, lay down, and take this however it comes?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and I'm pretty sure you feel this way, but I feel like we entering the best days of our lives. I know COVID-19 looked crazy. I know the protests look crazy. I know the racial tension looked crazy. I know we watched the TV and it seemed like every day a new black person is getting gunned down in the street by the police. But even with that, all that craziness, I still believe that something is still working,
Mm-hmm.
and that we about to enter something that's greater than what we ever saw. But I think this is a worldly term that came up with this, but you got to get through bad to get to the good. I've heard that before, and that's kind of a worldly term, but it kind of does fit a little bit.
Hey, you gotta go through the fire. You gotta go through the fire. And I'm talking about when you're going through it, oh my gosh, it is so pressing, and so it does not feel good. I mean, it could even be heartbreaking. So many emotions that you feel in those times when you're going through and dealing with situations. Nobody's downplaying it. I don't know what you go through every night or how you feel, or if you're crying yourself to sleep because you can't make ends meet or whatever. I don't know how you feel, but I've been there, as far as saying having those same feelings, having those same types of experiences. So it is nothing to downplay. But this is just to, I think we're doing this video in which, I don't know if we started it with this motive, but doing this video to kind of encourage you towards looking upward and seeing what you could do in this time to bring you out, I guess, in a better light. Because we're going to come out. But just use what he's equipped you with to advance you instead of to stay in the same place when this is all over.
Absolutely. And the main reason that I was encouraging to do the video is because it's not just me that feel this way. I've talked to many people that feel the same way. It's like it's something in the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. And it is. I mean, there's no denying that. But I do also want to say that whatever is existing in the natural does not depict what's going on spiritually. You're gonna come out and you're gonna be better. That's a guarantee. And just think about it. Even if you died, it's gain. It's gain. I know I'm not trying to encourage death or anything like that, but even death can't separate you from God. So it's a game. We don't know what people are going through.
It's true. I mean, it's hard to look at it that way because a lot of us think that, this is the end all be all. But I mean, if you were to die, especially if you're a Christian, you already know where you're going. So, I mean, it's a plus.
Yeah. Well, I think we're talking to people that somewhere in there, who God is to you and who he's been. Personally, individually, for your own life. I can't speak to that. All I know is for myself and my own experiences. And so one thing all of us can say is that he's clearly brought us through because we're here talking and you're here watching. So that's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? So just you guys be encouraged, and we're going to go ahead and end the video. We just want to touch on, the things that are existing in the atmosphere currently, and just to give you guys some encouragement to push through and use what he's equipped you with. I know you guys are likely super talented. You got some things that can push you through. Just be creative, and also never forget to pray and ask God to help you handle those situations.
Absolutely. And like we always say, if you watched us to this point, that means you watched us all the way to the end, and we appreciate you spending the time with us.
Yes, we definitely appreciate you guys. If you will, just go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the videos. If you have any comments, concerns, feel free to email us at unadulteratedview@gmail.com. Also, just comment below. We're looking forward to hearing from you guys.
And remember to give us some more topics. We want your feedback. We want to know what y'all want us to talk about.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Until then,
y'all be blessed, and y'all have a good night.